Welcome back to another night of Shtick with Koolfrogg. I think I have to change that. I don't think it's night anymore. I think it's more of a welcome back to another day or something. I'll figure that one out. That one will get worked on. Uh, Today, it is Monday. It is the first day of spring. We're gonna see if what we can do here. We're gonna actually see if we can't chant for America shirts. And there it starts. There's the starting chant. There you go. Was beautifully appropriate. Shirts, shirts, shirts. Yes, come on, let's go. Come on, buddy. I know you want to join me. You've said that you've wanted to join me. Let's do this. I shouldn't have to invite him. He has rights to actually, come in here at any point in time. Got a few things that I gotta do here and hit some downloads over on the other side. That was pretty good show. That wasn't so bad. Thank you all for actually joining the Waking Up show this morning with myself and Talking Trash and Truth. We met somebody fun today. We met Squaw Bob. That was great. And this is not gonna work. I have to actually leave that studio. It's just too much. Just too much. I have to figure out how to download that later, I guess. Yeah, right. Where is that shirt? Let's go. Come on. I know you want to join me. I know you do. Yep. And then follow what Rabbit does. Remember, change that top chat to live chat. Don't be or whatever you want to call yourself. Just kidding. We are actually live over on the Rumble side as well. Anybody that's interested in checking that out, make sure you hit that like button over here. Go over there, hit the thumbs up button, help that algorithm push it through. Um, wait, I have the wrong one up. Dang it! All right. This one. Few people over there. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to actually talk a little bit about, something that almost everybody else is going to be talking about. And that is Donald Trump. That is Donald Trump. There's nothing I can do about that. And the reason that we actually speak of such a person as Donald Trump is because we're going to actually, um, you know, help everybody else and helping you stay distracted from what's actually going on and just pay attention to this because that's what they want. They want you to be distracted. In serious opinion, I believe that's what they're doing. They're going to do that. They're going to distract you as much as they possibly can, uh, and that's what it is. Because exactly, and you see Darth. No, not more Trump. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Why? Because I'm gonna actually tell stories. I'm gonna tell stuff from both sides of this perspective. Not gonna go off one side or the other. We're gonna actually look at both. We're gonna actually see what both sides are actually talking about. Who's actually doing what? What do you think the distraction is? Is Trump? Trump is the distraction from something that's bigger and better than that. There's more going on than just Trump. But, all the newspaper, every single one of them have something to say about Trump. That's all they want to talk about. So here's Gateway Pundit breaking. Uh, is this all a scam? Now it looks like President Trump will not be arrested on Tuesday. I don't know what side to actually freaking believe on this shit. One side says he's going to, the other side says he's not going to. I fell asleep while watching, woke up. My husband had turned off my iPad. Oh, it's okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to say hi to all y'all real quick, I suppose. Let's see. Suzanne, Allie, Beautifully Inappropriate, Rabbit, Chris Rowland, Darth. What's up, brother? Yeah, more Trump. It's going to be more Trump, no matter what. You don't get a choice. So there you go. Is this all a scam? Is it all a scam? Do we think it's going to be a scam? Are they actually just sitting there fucking with us and keeping us, out of the loop on something else? I really do believe so. I really do. So then, let's kind of push through this here real quick. So it says, last Saturday night, a report came out that maybe President Trump won't be arrested on Tuesday. The American people force fed literal garbage to another entire weekend. We'll never get the time back. The monsters are now communist left dropped the news on Saturday that they will be arresting President Trump on Tuesday, which I don't see it happening. I really don't. So this is Robert Spencer out of PJ Media reports. Donald Trump announced on Saturday morning that he would be arrested on Tuesday. The nation has been agog under the perspective of the leftist establishment crossing the Rubicon of arresting its principal opponent on flimsy charges and demonstrating before the entire world that the American Republic is now an American banana republic in which foes of the regime can expect the full weight of corrupt government authority pushing back against them for daring to dissent. That's about all that has come to light, as relevant authorities are being quite close mouthed about the whole thing. Insiders say that a source of knowledge of the investigation told them on Saturday night there's one more witness. The indictment is apparently not a certainty until this witness testifies. But who is the witness? The insider source wouldn't say. And so all that we're told that a separate source who also spoke on condition of anonymity told insider that the witness is not Alan Weaselberg, Trump's former CFO. Okay, it's not him. Okay, who is it? Who is this person that's supposed to be a witness that's going to actually come and testify against Donald Trump to get him supposedly arrested? Hey, what's up, John D? Good to see you. Sounds like misinformation. I mean, what's up, Jimmy YouTube? Yo. um, but who's the witness? The insider source wouldn't say. And so all of we're told is that a separate source who also spoke on condition of anonymity told insider that the witness is not Alan Weaselberg, like we said. So it's not the CFO. Why is it not the CFO? Who's actually going to come up and actually talk against Trump? This may have changed. The corrupt Biden family is still criminally corrupt. Look at that. I mean, they're still dealing with Hunter's ridiculousness of not being brought up on charges of any way, shape, or form, which is wrong. He should always be brought up on all charges. Why? Because he's a freaking Biden. Bidens don't deserve to not be brought up on charges. Every single one of them deserve something. There you go. Thank you, Rabbit. Gifted 5 memberships. Pull all those people out of the back. Sam Parrish gifted a membership. Welcome to the Frog Army. Jimmy Tube. Hunter likes crack. Allegedly. I mean, maybe. Just maybe. And so, let's see if we can. If Jimmy wants to come talk to us. The next article. Not so fast on that Trump indictment. It's not a done deal yet. See, like I said, there's papers on both sides of this. One saying yes, the other one saying no. Exactly. Where's shirts? Let's go, brother. Let's do it. As I noted earlier in my story about Andrew McCarthy's take on the alleged Trump indictment, the Manhattan DA has not yet confirmed that there is an indictment, and the Trump spokesperson said they hadn't been notified formally about any arrest despite reports. He's not currently or being arrested. The arrest isn't supposed to happen until tomorrow. So being that the arrest isn't supposed to happen until tomorrow, Darth, quit spamming my chat. Come on, bro. Alvin Bragg did reportedly send out an email to his staff regarding dealing with the potential arrest. So it still looks like they think it's coming. Now there's more information, both from sources and that appeared to be improper leaks, as well as the President Donald Trump's attorney. The leaks are indicating it's not quite a done deal yet on that indictment. According to the Business Insider, there's still one more witness who has to testify. Again, not Weaselberg. Do we know who's actually going to do it? We don't. There's no inclination in exactly who this other witness is supposed to be. So this is the source wouldn't identify the witness. It's not clear who it is. Another source said that the insider said to the insider that it is not Weaselberg. Trump's former CFO Michael Cohen, or Trump's CFO Michael Cohen, Trump's former attorney, had told CNN that he thought he was the last witness when he testified last week. So is this true? Cohen is wrong once again. And that's the way they actually, they're gonna word things to make it sound that way. That's what they're gonna do. But as the insider notes, if we're another witness because of the grand jury meeting schedule, that makes any arrest on Tuesday unlikely because you would need to have the testimony plus the charging of the jury and the vote, all within a short period of 3 hours on Monday. According to the insider, the grand jury is only meeting Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for 3 hours each day. So this right here, this is what makes me think this isn't going to happen. If it does, it's really interesting how fast they were able to actually push that through. Where is this again? You need to have the testimony plus the charging of the jury and the vote, all within the few hours for that to actually occur. Now, could they have actually gone and issued the warrant for his arrest or the indictment, whatever, previously to this person actually coming and saying anything? Potentially, but then why would they need this person to actually come in and talk at all if that's the case? Trump's lead defense attorney, Susan Nichols, said they had not been notified of the DA's office about any arrest, and that Trump's comment in that regard was based on press reports, not any formal communication from the DA. Nichols called out the prosecution improper leaks. This is a political prosecution, and the DA leaks things to the press instead of communicating to the lawyers as they should. Nichols said to the DA's office has recently been in touch with the defense and that this has allowed rumors of tea leaves to steer the perception of what is happening in the case. We're all reading tea leaves because they refuse to communicate. It's been over a week and I haven't gotten any information from them, which is not normal, she said. In normal, run-of-the-mill cases, they'll be talking to us about what date they expect to turn in an indictment. They'll be saying, we'll let you know, she added. That's a normal conversation you would have with prosecutors. So not normal conversations with prosecutors really kind of sounds like a setup. But nothing about this matter has been normal from the start. Even Bragg himself initially didn't want to pursue his turkey of a case, or this turkey of a case. Now, there are all kinds of leaks that should not be happening, and they're not properly communicated. There probably will be an indictment this week, but now they've handled it. This is shame, or how they've handled this is shameful. Wow, I just can't read today. They can't even get the process of notification right without improper leaks and being political. So There probably an indictment this week still. So it's like, okay, so you're gonna hold it up and say that they're gonna actually arrest him on Tuesday, and let all leftist media actually go ahead and push that out, that that's what's gonna happen. And then you don't even, when you don't even have the proper indictment there, you're still going to assume that the indictment will still come up by the end of the week. So why? What's the point? What is the point? They're going to try indicting him on so that he can't become president of the United States ever again. That's what they want. They don't want him to be there. If they can take him out in any way, shape, or form, that's what they're going to do. They've been attempting to do so for the last 6 years. Congress, how many times did they try to impeach him? Twice. Through the House. Did it go through the Senate? Nope. Was he impeached? Absolutely not. Fail. Fail number one. Then all of a sudden he gets out, and then what do? They go raid Mar-a-Lago. So then what? What happens then? Absolutely nothing. Not a damn thing happens. And all of a sudden we're like, oh, they do that on purpose? Because now all of a sudden they're like, well, if we can actually go put something over here and we can actually say that it was this guy that did something, when Joe Biden's stuff comes up, we can kind of play it off as, well, one did it, the other can do it too. So let's go ahead and flat across the board treated them all the same. It's like, well, wait a minute. One was actually a president that gets to actually classify and declassify information all he wants. The other one was just a vice president and a senator, has no rights to classify anything as anything at all. Oh, there you go. Jimmy YouTube.
I love that sound you made when I came in. Oh, what's all, dude?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just kind of waking myself up to some degree. Saw you were talking about Trump getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or maybe.
personally, I think he's gonna get arrested. It might not be tomorrow, but he's not gonna do any time in jail. Like, even that creepy prawns lawyer was like, "Yeah, this is a stupid trial. Like, this is ridiculous."
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. Real quick, I see D What's here. What's up? How you doing? Anybody that doesn't already have membership, there, it looks like there's 3 of them left from the gifts from this morning. Go ahead and accept gifts or whatever, and you'll be able to receive one of those. So then here you got Trump accusing Manhattan DA of prosecutorial misconduct, calls for investigation.
Ooh.
Right, exactly. So one side says, get me pundit. You got red state. They're all like, well, it's not going to happen. Oh, it might happen by the end of the week.
Yeah,
And then
he's getting taken in so they can do the mugshot and everything and fingerprint him and all that. He's gonna go in, but they're just gonna use all that imagery for like their entire campaign. Like, they're just gonna base their campaign around Trump was in jail. It's gonna be great. Like, they're gonna use his mugshot as promotional shit. Salty's planning on putting his mugshot on a shirt already.
I mean, as far as Squad Bob goes, are we now going to do this with all of our presidents and political leaders? I mean, if you're going to do it to one, you might as well do it to the other, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let's go. Let's do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's get that Bill Clinton in here. I'm pretty sure he had a whole thing with a cigar going on.
Let's bring Barack Obama in. Let's go. The maybe potential guy that's pulling strings. We have no clue. We're just guessing. For the most legitimate president ever.
41 million votes, you guys.
81 million.
81 million? Is that what it was? Fuck.
Yeah, right. Of former President Donald Trump on Sunday accused Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg of misconduct over the office's investigation into the alleged hush money payment and called for the investigation into whether Bragg is interfering into the 2024 stuff. Oh, really?
I'm sorry. How is this any less shady than when a company tells you to sign an NDA? I'm confused.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer you on that. They need to get Biden. I don't want to hear about cognitive decline. Yeah, I really don't care about Nobel Prize winner Barack Obama. Yeah, that guy. Not Trump, the one that actually was nominated 4 times for his peace in the Middle East. But yeah, let's go with the one guy that just so happened to pick it up because of the the color of his skin. It's exactly why they did it.
Yeah, that whole academy is screwed up, or whatever you want to call it. The foundation that puts out the prizes, the awards. Nobel, is that who puts them out?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's probably some kind of a board of some sort, whatever. So
They're a subsidiary of the Anti-Defamation League, guarantee
it. Sure. So on Saturday, Trump said he would be arrested Tuesday on charges connected with the investigation amid anonymously source reports that Bragg was looking into procedural rules around indicting the former president. A day later, he wrote on Truth Social that there's no crime, and again accused Bragg of acting in a politically motivated manner.
How is this not political persecution at this point? I don't get it. I was asking that in the comments earlier. I just don't understand. Like,
when you go after a politician, it's political, right?
Kind of seems that way to me. Why else would you go after him? They don't typically say things outside of their purview, although their purview is growing with identity politics.
Okay. Thanks, John. Wonderful. He says, this is not the place to spout your hate of misinformation towards the government. You're inciting hate and division in society. I'm pretty sure this is against the rules, so I'm reporting this for misinformation.
Thanks, John D.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Glad you're looking out for those YouTube homies.
Right. All other of many Democrat law enforcement officers that looked into it took a pass. So did former Manhattan DA Cy Vance, and so did Bragg. But then, much later, he changed his mind. Gee, I wonder why. Prosecutorial misconduct and interference with an election? Investigate the investigators, Trump wrote on Sunday. I mean, maybe that'd be an interesting one to see if he actually investigated who was actually investigating the issue. You might actually come across where the issue really seriously is.
Defund the FBI.
AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com. Go ahead, buy some shirts from and use promo code Koolfrogg. You'll get 15% off. Yeah, so you can buy one that actually says defund the FBI.
Beautiful.
Right? Maybe that'll get them to finally come around.
Yeah. Hey, guys, just heard you talking about me. I thought I'd pop in.
In another post Sunday, the 45th president asserted that Bragg, a Democrat, initially decided not to pursue the investigation before reversing his decision. Then, according to Trump, Bragg was pressured by Biden, by the Biden White House, Democrats, and other entities into bringing a case against him. So this isn't even just was bringing him up on charges, legitimately. They're being forced into bringing these charges by the Biden White House, other Democrats, and supposedly some other entities that are out there that are just like, no, we don't want Trump around here anymore. We don't like Trump. Let's do whatever we can to remove him from the possibility of coming forward again and being, the next president. Because, obviously we know that Joe Biden's the most legitimate president ever.
Said the liar.
Quote, when Alvin Bragg first attained office, he made it very clear that, like many other prosecutors, there was no case against Donald J. Trump. When the Biden administration and the Democrats and the fake news media began pushing him hard, and lo and behold, he said that there might just be a case after all.
Darth.
Bragg is investigating whether Trump falsified business records by concealing his reimbursement of his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, for $130,000 payment Cohen made to Stormy Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, in 2016. Trump was denied any wrongdoing and said that he did not engage with an affair with Daniels. I mean, that's all speculation in itself, or whatever. That Stormy was actually paid off, or AKA Stephanie was paid off.
Doesn't
we don't
this sound
know
so
for
familiar?
sure.
Doesn't this sound beyond familiar? I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Mrs. Daniels. I did not stick a cigar. Never mind.
Trump, who is running for Republican presidential nomination in 2024, did not say in Truth Social posts whether he had been formally notified of forthcoming charges, and did not discuss the possible charges in the post. A spokesperson for Trump, Steve Young, told the Epoch Times that his team hasn't been formally notified of any pending arrest. Cohen previously testified that Trump directed him to arrange the payment, and Cohen pleaded guilty in December 2018 to campaign finance violations and other charges. But according to a Trump lawyer, in March 10th statement, charging Trump in connection to the case would represent an unprecedented move. It's his campaign office. It's not his.
You know, he's calling for all these protests too. Did you hear about that?
You want to go deeper on it? Yeah, no, I'm not really catching what you're.
Yeah, Trump called for a bunch of protests. There's going to be a protest outside of Mar-a-Lago, along with a bunch of other locations. People are going to be just showing up with guns.
Oh, sure. So now they're going to say, "Oh, look, it's another J6."
Exactly. That's why I don't think it's such a great idea.
I doubt that he's actually going around and actually saying any of that whatsoever. I really do.
He
did.
He is calling for protests. Yep. Yep. He sure is. He should stop that, though.
For the DA's office to charge former President Trump, a victim of extortion, with a crime because his then lawyer, Michael Cohen, a convicted liar, paid the exonerist, would be unprecedented and outrageous selective prosecution.
What divinity?
A victim of extortion with a crime because of his lawyer. A convicted liar paid the extortionist would be unprecedented and outrageous. I mean, really charging somebody else with somebody else's recklessness is wrong in itself, right? It's not Trump. It's not Trump at all. So, no U.S. president, while in office or afterward, has faced criminal charges. Trump has said that he will continue campaigning even if charged with a crime, and he is expected to hold a rally later in March in Waco, Texas.
You
Trump
know,
is also confronting a state level criminal probe in Georgia over efforts to overturn certain results in that state. A special counsel named the U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland is currently investigating Trump's handling of the government documents after leaving office in the aftermath of that particular election. In those cases, Trump has denied wrongdoing and described those investigations as politically motivated. I mean, he's going to continue to deny all wrongdoing. Because who goes out and says, "Yeah, I did it. Come get me."
well, is it wrong to pay a stripper hush money about keeping secrets? Don't tell my wife I slept with you, man. Thank you.
I mean, maybe only morally. Because
Like
who is it?
I
You know,
don't think that's
it may,
against the law.
no, it's not. That's why I said maybe only morally. So it's like maybe only in their own mind would that be something.
Okay,
Otherwise,
now Stormy, don't run to CNN with this. I'm going to give you a lot of money. Okay, I won't. Instantly fucking does.
and that's saying that if he actually did it or not.
I mean, I bet he did. I'm pretty sure he did. It's just, she already lost the lawsuit, the other previous lawsuit, and she couldn't pay because her lawyer frickin' stole the money from her. I actually don't know how that last one ended up after that, if she was actually able to pay him or not.
I heard him say he had we have the right to protest, but I didn't hear him giving specific instructions as to where. I may have missed that. I mean, so even if he is, out there saying something or whatever, he's gonna do the same thing that he did with J6. He's um, peacefully, calmly and peacefully. Don't do stupid shit. That's pretty much what it came down to. And he was directing them from one stage to the next. So I mean, it was in my mind. I really just don't see it as being legit. But so then here's another article on surprise witnesses coming forward. So it's like they don't have this figured out. They really don't. Yeah, see, this actually has the same information as what the other one did. I figured I was going to have multiple. I just went through and I dug through anything that said Trump, pulled it up.
You know me, dog. I got my news from Salty Cracker.
Right. Lauren Boebert, Democrats believe arresting Donald Trump is their only hope in victory of 2024. Democrats believe that arresting Trump is their only hope, according to Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert argued in a Twitter post that Democrats believe the anticipated arrest of former President Donald Trump is the party's only hope at winning the 2024 election. Boebert, who's closely aligned herself with Trump since the first ran in the House of Representatives in 2020, argued Democrats know they won't be able to beat our ideas at the ballot box in 2024, so think this is the only hope. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. She seriously believes that that's their only hope. That's the only way they're going to actually, pick up anything is to actually remove the other person. If they can remove the other person out of the equation, it just makes it that much easier for them, especially when it comes to the likeness of Donald Trump. Removing Donald Trump. Go ahead.
People are wondering if, Salty and them were talking about him maybe getting Kennedy in there.
I mean, They all risk that, don't they?
Yeah, all the politicians. Man, you can just get Kennedy at anywhere. Watch what you say,
Right?
because it might be the right thing.
I think I'll say that I think Trump is the best chance at economic revitalization, but I'm not sure half of America will even allow that if we remain polarized. And that's the thing is there's such a divide.
We just need some tough on crime mayors, guys. Come on, it's not so bleak.
Mayors or governors?
That too. Both of them. DAs, all of them. We need some folks that are tough on crime, and then this shit gets cleaned up. And then you don't got to worry about fools coming in your home or on your street. So much anymore, anyway.
Right. Let's see. It says Boebert contrasted Trump's legal situation with that of his 2016 opponent, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who was once investigated by the FBI for allegedly storing classified materials in a private server. It is ridiculous that Hillary Clinton and others walk around without a care in the world while President Trump is put through hell on earth. A subsequent tweet, Boebert urged others to oppose the political persecution of President Trump. I mean, urging them to oppose it. So just go against whatever they're actually pushing right now, because that's not where we want to go. So then other Republicans have spoken out against the perceived attempt to weaponize the criminal justice system against the former president. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy described the coming arrest as an outrageous abuse of power and politically motivated, and announced that he was directing relevant committees to immediately investigate if federal funds are being used to subvert our democracy by interfering in certain things with politically motivated prosecutions or so I mean, these things, interfering in those is wrong in my opinion. I really wish that people would stop that. Koolfrogg, the stream is acting choppy. Anybody else having that issue?
Yo, do we got the most base chat in here or what?
Yeah, for the most. For the most. I mean, there's a couple of them in there that give you the other perspective,
Which is great too.
which
That makes it more
right, which
base.
is right, exactly. Was where I was going with it. It just when thinking that it's based, just could make it even more based if you think about it, because then you just like you got both sides actually pushing and saying, hey, wait a minute here.
Hell yeah. You got to get that. Otherwise, it's just an echo chamber. It's like, oh, I completely agree. Oh, no, I completely agree. Where's the fun in that?
So then Vivek Ramaswamy is an author, entrepreneur running for Trump against Trump in 2024 Republican presidential nomination, has condemned the expected move to indict Trump and called for his other primary opponents to oppose politically empowered prosecutors, eliminated the opposition of a ruling party using arrest power. Prosecutors eliminating people from being able to run for seats in government off of false pretenses is not really going to be healthy for this country. This country is going to go to shit in the handbasket real quick. His time is gone, but the Gingrich-esque president is extremely strong, independent, could maybe bridge the gap. Your sound is getting strange, like a replay from a noisy room.
Darth says he doesn't hear it.
Yeah, see, Darth says he doesn't hear it. The room noise that you're hearing is comes from Jimmy YouTube.
That may be my heater down here, seeing as how it is below 30 degrees.
Yeah, which is totally fine. You're okay, but that's what you're hearing. It's almost forgotten that Trump was a Democrat longer than a Republican. Yeah, right. He was a Democrat. He was a Democrat for lots and lots of years before actually turning to be to the Republican Party to actually run for uh, resident of the United States. So when you actually think about it, and you actually go back and you see the stuff that he had done uh, previously to running for president, hanging out with the likenesses of like Jesse Jackson. He's on Oprah several times. I remember Oprah asking the question. I remember laying on the floor watching TV um, while my mom was cooking dinner, listening to Oprah give an interview to Donald Trump and asking him if he would ever run for president. He seriously says, "Well, if it gets too bad, yeah, I'll probably do that." And he hung out with these people. He hung out with these people on a regular basis. He was always so super friendly with everybody, and everybody knew him. But then they go and they turn around and they do this shit. They're like, oh, he's a racist. He's a
Yeah,
racist. We need to actually take him down now.
that's the shitty part. This is just like freaking dang it, what's his name? The voice actor, I can't, Vic Mignogna. This is just like the Vic Mignogna situation. Like he was friends with all of these guys. Like they had parties together. Their kids know each other. They go to events together. Probably still.
Let's see here. So Jim Jordan, real American, knows Trump arrest is all a sham.
Uh,
So it says Republican House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan has blasted the sham plans by Democrat prosecutors in New York to arrest President Donald Trump next week. Now, here's an interesting one on that. Donald Trump doesn't live in New York. Donald Trump lives in Florida.
he doesn't have in New York anymore.
No, he lives in Florida. He's lived in Florida for pretty much this whole presidency.
Well, he's got the Mar-a-Lago home, but he's got other houses, doesn't he?
His permanent residence is Florida.
All right.
He does not live in New York. How do you arrest somebody in New York when they're in Florida?
I suppose you'd need to indict them.
Jordan warned that real America knows the truth behind the anti-Trump effort. God bless President Trump, Jordan wrote in Twitter. Real America knows this is a sham. As Slay News reported, rumor began to emerge on Friday night that George Soros's Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg was making preparations to arrest Trump next week. President Trump later confirmed the report and revealed that the plan to arrest him on Tuesday. In a post on Truth Social Saturday morning, Trump wrote, illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crime and whose leaders is funded by George Soros, indicate that with no crime being able to be proven and based on an old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors, fairy tale and the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our nation back. So, okay, so there's your protest.
Aha.
There's your protest. Let's take America back. Okay. Take America back, take this nation back to where it's actually intended to be. And let's do whatever we need to do. Dems are doing their QAnon. That's not a thing. There's anonymous and there's Q, but there's not. I'm confused. The office is investigating Trump's alleged role in hush money paid to porn star Stormy Daniels, and that's what they're going at. They're going after him for that. It's just like why they're going after him for hush monies paid for a supposed porn star, nasty old Stormy Daniels. It just you're going to bring him up on charges for that and make it so that he can't run for president. But like you had said yourself, Jimmy, let's bring Bill Clinton up on some stuff. Then let's go. I mean, what the hell? If you're going to sit there and charge people, let's do it.
Yeah, you want to look at former presidents? He's done quite a lot to women. I still can't put a cigar up on in there. I hope it wasn't lit.
Thank you, Bill, for being appropriate. So there's a second person that actually said the same thing. There's Q and there's Anons. There's no such thing as QAnon, hence Dems are QAnon. Oh, interesting. Kevin McCarthy vows investigations into prosecutors looking to indict Trump. So now you got McCarthy coming up and saying something. So Speaker of the House of Republican California Rep. Kevin McCarthy just dropped a bomb on the people who want to indict former President Donald Trump, including Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg. Here we go again. An outrageous abuse of power by radical DA who lets violent criminals walk as he pursues political vengeance against President Trump. I'm directing relevant committees to immediately investigate if federal funds are being used to subvert our democracy by interfering in certain types of things in politically motivated prosecutions. It comes as news to the Manhattan DA. It comes as news of the Manhattan DA is planning to indict the former president, who believes it will happen on Tuesday. He posted an all caps message on his Truth Social platform calling for protests if he is arrested, which he believes will happen on Tuesday. So then there's that same blurb that was in the last one, calling for protests to take our nation back. I like how they actually didn't put as much of a space in there, making it its own sentence. It made it part of the other paragraph. Very good. Thank
Make
you.
it easy to read. Thank
Yeah,
you, guys.
What could be an interesting situation in the entire episode is if former President Trump decided to fight extradition from Florida to New York. In that case, ultimately, the person who would have to sign the papers that allow him to be extradited would be Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who has not announced his candidacy for president of the United States, but who has been polling neck and neck with Trump. But there's no legal way for that poll is not neck and neck. When you look at the polls, look at any poll that come out of that, it looked like Trump was about 50, 60%, whereas DeSantis was down in about the 30%, leaving the other 5 with minimal like 1 to 5%.
I'm kind of cracking up over here, imagining Donald Trump sitting in a holding cell, and some dude, hey, what are you in for?
I mean, Divinity has a point. Imagine DeSantis actually extradites him to secure that nomination. I mean,
Ooh.
That's a thought. It really is. That's an interesting thought because I mean, why not? You'd be like, well, you're in my way. Let's go. The indictment and the charges are not going to go away. Florida Attorney Tamara Holder said to Insider, "This is in early stages of criminal proceedings, and it's very important that you present yourself to the court early on as somebody who's going to fight the case and not fight the extradition. The governor doesn't have the power to stop an extradition. The governor's only involvement is to look at the papers and make sure that the papers are proper to issue the warrant. I mean, I guess, but the governor really does have a lot more power than that. They're trying to write him off like he doesn't have any power. He really does have a lot of power. Like the state power, when it comes down to it, your governor's like the president of your particular state. So DeSantis or any other governor could just simply go out and release whoever they wanted from any prison for any reason whatsoever without thinking about there's so much that these governors can actually do for them to actually try writing it off like, oh, the governor can't really do anything. I think they're kind of wrong. I think the governor really can do a lot. The governor's power to stop an extradition is really non-existent, he said. He can try to delay it. He can send it to the committee. He can do research about it, but his role is really ministerial. And ultimately, the state of New York can go to court and get an order to extradite the former president. I mean, I guess they can go and they can try extraditing anybody they want from anywhere to somewhere else where they think they can actually bring them up on charges. Now, do you think Trump's going to just sit there and be like, well, okay, I'm going to sit here. I'll let you guys come and arrest me and, and bring me to New York. Nah, I don't see it happening. I see it as more of like Trump would actually go jump into his plane and be like, I'll be there in a minute. He go show up and, come walking through the door so that nobody sees that he's in cuffs. And he just walks in front of this judge, says what he needs to say, and then walks the fuck out.
Yeah, but you think they're gonna let him do that? They'd probably surround him with police sanctioned by the White House, some crazy shit like that.
I mean, they can try to do that, but he still has his not Secret Service, because he didn't like the Secret Service, because his own service his own security was better security than what Secret Service was in his mind. So he has his own security. They're gonna watch for him. They're not gonna allow this to just happen. They're like, no.
I don't know, man. When it's a matter of the law, I don't know if there's much you can do about it.
Then he'll leave an hour later. Yeah, right. Exactly, dude. It's going to be simple and easy. It's not going to be.
I don't know, man. You've been detained by the police before. When you're detained, you're detained. That's it. That's raps, G.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've been arrested. I've been detained. I've been cuffed and not arrested. The whole thing. When whatever handcuffs are ridiculous, and they lead others to believe that that's a bad thing. So, oh my God, he's in handcuffs. It's just handcuffs, and they're just trying to show something to make it look like something like it's worse than it really is.
We got the criminal restraint.
He's not going to be put in cuffs. He's just going to walk through the door. That's all. He's not going to allow anything like that to occur. There's no way. Let's see. Once there's an indictment voted, it would be shocking that the judge would not order extradition. Trump knows that. I mean, it's a George Soros funded, prosecutor that's going after him. These prosecutors that have actually been funded to actually do this kind of stuff or whatever, I really believe they shouldn't have the positions that they have, because they're using them against. No, he's not going to allow it. He's not going to allow that to occur. He's going to go walk up in there. He's going to be, let's go. They're going to try arresting me in the morning. We'll show up there tonight. And tomorrow morning, when they first open up and they think that they're going to come and get me, we'll just go walk right in there and be like, let's go.
I'd like to introduce my counsel, Vic McMahon. Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
We were talking about Vic Mignogna earlier.
I know. I caught you. According to Fox News, a court source reported that a meeting was requested on Thursday that has yet to be scheduled. According to the source familiar with the planning, the purpose of the meeting is to discuss logistics for some time next week, which would mean that they are anticipating an indictment next week. They don't even know.
Yeah, see, I'm not so sure it's going to happen Tuesday, but it's going to happen. He's going to get arrested.
Use the photo op as publicity. He's smart. He'll handle it. Be in charge. I'm with you on that one, Davey. In response to the news, a spokesperson for Trump, Stephen Schwang, issued a statement to Fox News Digital, criticizing the district attorney Alvin Bragg, calling his investigation a witch hunt, and alleging that Bragg was under the influence of President Biden and radical Democrats, of course, as well as George Soros.
Do you remember when McDonald's was getting flack for selling to Donald Trump?
Getting flack for selling to Donald Trump?
Yeah, when he did that whole dinner or whatever, and he just had McDonald's there instead, and leftists are like, "Oh, McDonald's, you're awful! I can't believe you'd serve to this white supremacist." Blip 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 blip.
I don't think I do remember that, but I mean, it doesn't sound like something that wouldn't happen anyway. It's seriously, I mean, for as ridiculous as they are, they're like, "Oh, you can't eat McDonald's. You're a fat white man. You don't get that."
I couldn't imagine him going through the drive-through anyway, personally. Although
it pays somebody else to go to the drive-through for him. I want 6 Big Macs, 3 large fries, and give me 2 Cokes. 2 glasses of Coke, please.
God help you if you forget my Whopper.
President Donald J. Trump is completely innocent. He did nothing wrong. And even the biggest, most radical left Democrats are making that clear. From Russia to the mother hoax, to impeachment hoaxes 1, and impeachment hoax number 2, and even the unlawful Mar-a-Lago raid, Democrats have investigated and attacked President Trump since before he was elected, and they've failed every time. They're going to fail again.
Everything woke turns to shit.
ooh, what's this one? Conservative.
Well, see, that's what the last one was, conservative brief. More Republicans rally around Trump after McCarthy takes moves to the House. I mean, so he's doing some other things around the House. This is more Republican lawmakers who began to rally around former President Donald Trump following the reports on Friday that an indictment was likely later this week over the allegations of campaign finance violations in relation to hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. Conservatives in the House reacted after Kevin McCarthy vowed on Saturday to direct relevant committees to look into whether any federal funds were being. So this is exactly what the last one said. Any politically motivated prosecutions, check out everything. Use this committee. Let's do it. Let's figure it out, and let's stop whatever's happening from occurring. Because whatever it is. Whatever reason that they're actually going after this guy, and they're he used this and he did that, and it's are you projecting? Because I would almost think that Joe Biden is projecting his own bullshit onto Trump and making it look like Trump's the one that's the bad guy, when we all know that Biden's the bad guy.
Federal folk. They're all folk.
Yeah, right. Here we go again. An outrageous abuse of power by radical DA who lets violent criminals walk as he pursues political vengeance against President Trump. I'm directing relevant committees to immediately investigate if federal funds are being used to subvert democracy and interfering in elections with politically motivated prosecutions. McCarthy reacted following the report that the Manhattan grand jury is on the verge of indicting the former president, which would be the first in the country. And the mid-talk, the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, has been in talks with the law enforcement agencies, including the Secret Service, ahead of an expected appearance in court by Trump. Other Republicans have also responded since the news broke. Although he has recently criticized former Trump's actions on January 6th, former Vice President Mike Pence, who is considering a presidential run in 2024, stated the possible indictment smells like a type of politically motivated prosecution we experienced during the Russia hoax. So now, even his former vice president is coming forward and saying, well, this kind of smells a little iffy. I don't really think this is actually something to actually think about, something that we should even be dealing with right now. But because, prosecution's politically motivated, let's go for it. Dictionary Diva popping by to say hi. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day yourself, dear.
DD.
Representative Elise Stefanik of New York, the third ranking Republican in the House, and someone whose name has been mentioned as potential 2024 running mate, called Trump's possible arrest un-American and added that Democrats have reached a dangerous new low. Knowing they cannot beat President Trump at the ballot box, the radical left will now follow the lead of the socialist dictators and reportedly arrest President Trump, she said in a statement shared on Twitter, describing him as the leading GOP candidate. Of course he is. Of course he's the leading candidate. Senator Lindsey Graham, speaking at the Vision 24 National Conservative Forum on Saturday, dismissed the Manhattan District Attorney case against Trump, asserting that he believes the prosecutors are scared of him. The prosecutors in New York has done more to help Donald Trump get elected president than any single person in American history. He noted further, if I were President Trump, I would take this all the way to the damn Supreme Court. Added Rep. Andy Biggs, if they can come for Trump, they will come for you. This type of stuff only occurs in third world authoritarian nations. And that between Graham and Biggs actually coming out and actually saying any of this against what they're doing really seriously makes it sound really, really politically motivated. They're just trying to do whatever they can to get at these guys.
Yeah, personally, I think that the Alex Jones one was as well.
Sure. Yeah. That'd be another very good point. So virtually every campaign finance violation involves either one, spending other people's money illegally, or two, taking money into his campaign that he shouldn't have. Trump did neither, says Matt Gaetz of Florida. He used his own money to resolve a private dispute, irrespective of any campaign. Now, this is Matt Gaetz, so I know there's this controversy in itself of it being Matt Gaetz. So it kind of sounds like Matt Gaetz is like, well, you did it, but it's your own private stuff, and it shouldn't actually be brought forward as a politically motivated reason to disallow you to run for president ever again. Why? Because the stuff that occurred in your privacy long before the presidency the first time. So I mean, it just, for whatever reason, they're just going to keep on trying to rub salt into these wounds, and they're going to see what they can get out of it. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, another potential Trump running mate, called for allegations against Trump fake and outdated. She wrote on Twitter, Republicans in Congress must subpoena their committee, these communists, and end this. And Republicans in Congress must subpoena the communists. Let's go. You start subpoenaing Joe Biden right now. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in and question him. Question for all his wrongdoings that he's ever done. And let's, put it right on in front of his face and say, okay, we think that you did this wrong. We think you did that wrong. Let's charge you for it. Let's bring you up on charges because that's what every president should have to deal with. She also noted another tweet that we don't need to protest. These idiots are sealing their own fate in 2024 because the silent majority has two feelings right now about the current regime. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, who Trump backed during the 2022 victory, condemned Bragg, asserting that the DA is eager to prosecute Trump while violent offenders are free to roam the streets of New York City. And that's exactly why most of the reason why I hate this whole situation is this kind of shit. Let's bring him in for political motivations, but who cares about the guy that's down the street committing crimes? Who cares about what they're actually doing? And let's not deal with them. Let's not deal with them right now. We don't have time. We don't have time to, because this is more important. No, this isn't more important. This is something that should just be dropped as, it had been dropped previously for them to continuously to bring more and more shit up. Shows they know they're weak. They know that they're not going to make it anywhere. And the only way they are is to actually put this guy somewhere where they know that he can't actually come back. Trump, it's through social posts and his own responding to the news. So there's that what I don't know what they call them over on Truth Social, those truths that he had posted. And you can actually see, again, asking for protests. That's the same exact paragraph that we've seen for now a third time.
Oh, boy.
So then, former U.S. attorney argues Trump could be indicted on the same thing Clinton was fined for. Do you remember what Clinton was fined for?
Nope.
Awesome. Let's read the article and find out.
Yes, sir.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is essentially using the same legal theory to potentially indict former President Donald Trump that Hillary Clinton's campaign was fined for, argued former United States Attorney Brett Tolman. Tolman asserted Saturday that Bragg's legal theory that Trump tried to hide campaign expenditure by using his then lawyer to pay porn actress Stormy Daniels $130,000 in alleged hush money before the 2016 presidential election would have applied to Clinton when her campaign hit a payment for the phony Russian dossier against Trump as legal fees. Former New York City police officer and conservative pundit Cardillo, Bill Clinton said Paula Jones paid Paula Jones $850,000 and no one cared. No one cared. Nobody gave a crap about one person paying off some whatever thought. But it's okay to actually bring up this one because this one's different. This one's different because it's somebody that's not part of our quote unquote democracy.
Look at our boy Trump too, just not even spending that Clinton money.
Like not even anywhere near. He's like, maybe I should have paid it a little bit more, and maybe they would leave me alone.
I was a little low that time, a little low.
That's when it's bullshit. Trump doesn't need to use election funds to pay for an escort. He doesn't. He has enough money. He doesn't. He really doesn't need to use those funds to do anything. Oh, wait. He donated each one of his paychecks that he had gotten from being president. That's something.
Later, inappropriate. Have a good one.
See you later, peeps. Got to run. You have a good one, dear. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it, Divinity. I got to figure out where it's at in the register.
Of all the things that he can do, that's one, right? Indeed. The Federal Election Commission on March 2022 fined Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and Democratic National Committee for not properly disclosing payments for the so-called P dossier that the DOJ and the FBI relied to investigate Trump for alleged Russian collusion. Campaigns are supposed to report expenses over $200 and disclose the purpose of the expense. However, the Clinton campaign and the DNC funneled their payments for the dossier, totaling more than $1 million through the Democrat law firm Perkins Coie. According to the FEC, Perkins Coie paid opposition search firm Fusion GPS more than $1 million in 2016 for the dossier. Perkins Coie was then paid $175,000 by the Clinton campaign and about $850,000 by the DNC in July and August of 2016. Oh, by the DNC. Oh, who paid for what? Oh. It was paid for by the Democratic National Convention, not Clinton himself. Go figure.
Oh,
Guess who paid for that?
so it wasn't even Clinton money.
Nope, it wasn't. It had nothing to do with them. These payments are not disclosed until Kash Patel led investigators from then House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes uncovered them. The FEC fined Clinton campaign $8,000 and DNC $105,000 for reporting the payments as legal services in legal and compliance consulting instead of opposition research. George Washington University law professor and criminal defense attorney Jonathan Turley also noted in a recent column that potential indictment against Trump that Hillary Clinton faced a not dissimilar campaign finance allegation. He wrote, in the Hill last year, and then here's what was put in the Hill. Last year, the Federal Election Commission fined the Clinton campaign for funding the Steele dossier as a legal expense. The campaign had previously denied funding the dossier, which was used to push false Russia collusion claims against Trump in 2016, and it buried the funding in the campaign's legal budget. Yet there's no hue and cry for this type of prosecution in Washington or New York. Although Bragg cannot bring charges against Trump for federal violations, Turley said he could bring state charges under Section 175 for falsified business records based on the claims that Trump concealed the hush payments as legal expenses to violate federal election laws. As Turley noted in Section 175, charge would normally be a misdemeanor, but Bragg would try to convert it into a felony by showing that intent to defraud includes an intent to commit another crime or to aid to conceal the commission thereof. So, they know that it's just a misdemeanor if they even brought him up on anything. So, I mean, it's not that misdemeanors aren't anything, because they obviously are. but trying to actually bolster it to make it come out as a felony as opposed to just being a misdemeanor sounds like he's corrupt and maybe be removed from his position. See you later, Bragg. The crime, Turley speculated, was a federal election violation, which he noted the Justice Department previously declined to charge. Epoch Times show host Hans Manschke, who followed the Russia collusion hoax closely, also agreed with Tolman. Probably the most important thing anyone has said since the pending arrest report came out. Hillary claimed the Steele reports were legal fees. That's not just essentially the same as what Trump is being charged with. It's the same. Why wasn't Hillary arrested? Good question. Why wasn't Hillary arrested? If it's the same charge, how are you going to go ahead and you're going to charge another guy with something and actually make him pay fines and or fees as well as potential whatever jail time, but not the other?
Because she's on their side, she's on their side. That's why.
Oh, hypocrisy. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Fury of Manhattan's Bragg over looming Trump charges dominates House GOP retreat. Stop going after people because you have political differences. And really shouldn't have to read the article. That's that. Stop going after people because you're political differences. If you can't actually conversate with somebody over their political differences, what's the point? Why are you even talking? You have to be able to actually conversate with people and actually hold legit conversations. Rules for these, say it ain't so. Yep, exactly. So then here's Dinesh D'Souza. Elon Musk says Trump indictment will lead to landslide victory. Isn't that something? So an indictment for President Donald Trump could lead to him becoming elected president of the United States again, leading conservatives led by filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza have said, if the Democrats want action, let's have it. Time to retaliate against a gracious Trump indictment by filing impeachment articles against President Biden. The trial provides a unique opportunity to expose the China sellout and full corruption of the Biden crime family. Arresting the leader of the opposition party is the signature move of socialist and third world despotic regimes. Moreover, it's always done in the name of fighting corruption and rule of law.
I like
impeachments.
It's a crime family, all right.
Right. And I like Dinesh D'Souza. He's so fun. He's got some great stuff. Impeachments have the effect of completely paralyzing an administration. An impeachment trial would not only showcase Biden's global corruption racket, but also make it impossible for him to govern. It's almost worth a Trump arrest to motivate the House GOP to hashtag impeach Biden now. Or as we like to say around here, impeach the potato. Let's go. Do it. Another one. The media can ignore GOP House investigations, but they can't ignore a Biden impeachment trial in Congress. It would put all of Biden's crimes and corruption on display. The country and the world would see we are being ruled by illegitimate president and junta. Impeach Biden. He was joined by Twitter CEO Elon Musk, who had said that he believes the indictment will lead to a Trump victory. If this happens, Trump will be reelected by a landslide victory. And you can see Viva Fry actually replies to it. This happens at the beginning of the Trump's reelection. And that's something. if they predict President Trump no fake charges to go after him to try to stop the movement that they cannot stop, he is going to win 2024 by a landslide victory, and then we will put him in the White House, and he will finish what he started. Republican of Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene says. We will gut the government of all the traitors that are serving the globalists and America last. There seems to be an awful lot of traitors out there recently.
Sure.
Alvin Bragg was bought by George Soros. Yes, George Soros. He allows violent criminals to walk on the streets of New York City, but will prosecute the likely Republican nominee and former president on a baseless misdemeanor charge. These people are trying to turn America into a third world country, says Republican of Ohio, J.D. Vance.
I don't want America to be a third world.
And you got Donald Trump. You don't want America to what?
I don't want America to be a third world country. That'd be really shitty. Not for any amount of money.
Right? If they can take him out, they're one step closer to taking you and your freedoms out. And apparently that's been the plan all along, says Donald Trump Jr. And that's what they want. All those little things that we like to actually have, all the little freedoms that we actually do have, though we're not really free, those freedoms that we do have should not be, infringed on. I really don't believe so. I really don't believe that anybody should be able to come after anybody for, stupid acts of whateverness. I don't like it. I really don't. I think it's ridiculous. So then here's the Newsmax. We have slipped into a banana republic in this country, and we have two-tier system of justice where Democrats run scot-free, and then someone like President Trump and other Republicans were held to this ridiculous standard, says Devin Nunes. I don't know New York law very well. I'm not an attorney, but I can tell you, I think that if they do move forward and indict, it'll just make it even easier for President Trump to win the election because people are going to see this for what it is. It is just a farce and another attack on Trump. It's all costs, at all costs, to stop him from becoming president again. Constitutional expert and Georgetown University law professor Jonathan Turley noted in a column published on Saturday that the alleged coming indictment of former President Trump by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg will be made for TV event. A made-for-TV event. Oh no!
But the Ghislaine Maxwell trial couldn't really.
I don't think that they can because, like they said with the Ghislaine stuff or whatever, it's a federal thing, so you can't actually.
That was the
broadcast
that one.
What's that?
I said that was the excuse for that one.
Yeah, that's what they actually excuses that they use for that, right? What's up, Go Hagen? How you doing, brother?
Go Hagen! Son of a gun, how you doing?
The moment that we're waiting for, we made it for the finale together. Those familiar words from America's Got Talent could well be opening line for Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg next week when he is expected to unveil the indictment for former President Trump. With Trump's reported announcement that he expects to be arrested on Tuesday, it'd be fitting. It'd be a fitting curtain raiser for a case that is developed more like a television production than a criminal prosecution. Indeed, this indictment was repeatedly rejected only to be brought back by popular demand. Trump faces serious legal threats in the ongoing Mar-a-Lago investigation, but the New York case would be easily dismissed outside of a jurisdiction like New York, where Bragg can count on highly motivated judges and jurors. Turley added, although it may be politically popular, the case is legally pathetic. Legally pathetic. It's amazing. It's amazing, that they're even doing any of this. I really don't understand why they keep on going after him with these false allegations across the board. It just, if they don't want him to run for president, stop messing with them. Go somewhere else, figure it out. Convince the Republican National Convention to, put somebody else up as opposed to Trump. I don't think you're going to convince them. You can try. I really don't see it happening. So then Trump lawyer explains what is most likely to happen at Mar-a-Lago if Trump is indicted. The lawyer for Donald Trump described the most likely scenario if the former president of Mar-a-Lago estate should be indicted this week by Manhattan grand jury. The attorney stated that Trump would not resist and would surrender to authorities in the event the indictment of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg investigation into hush money agreement for the 2016 presidential campaign. There won't be a standoff at Mar-a-Lago with Secret Service in the Manhattan DA's office, Joe Tacopino told the New York Daily News. He suggested that Trump, who is characterized as a survivor, would utilize any charges brought against him to his political advantage in the long run. Most people would collapse under the weight of this, he said. He seems to turn everything into positive and everything into a boost for his campaign. So I'm sure this will just join that long list of things that people think no one could overcome, but he will. News broke on Friday that Bragg would close an indictment on Trump for hush money. I mean, a lot of this is repeat. They're going to go after Stormy Daniels again. Let's pull up the last one. So, hour and a half. That's not too bad. It's all right. 10 of you still watching, go ahead, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you hadn't already. There is a Rumble side that is actually currently running. Hello, baby bat Adam 15. Good to see you. Glad you're over there. Y'all hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Rumble this out and get it out there to everybody else. Follow along. We do some Rumble exclusives eventually. I really haven't had anything planned recently, but we will get to some of that. This is The View. Co-host ripped over statements regarding marriage of Donald and Melania Trump. So, as opposed to just going after them for what they're actually intended to go after them for, these biddies are out here sitting there talking shit. What's up? First time I caught a live stream on Rumble. I'm glad that you're here. Welcome. And, see what we can do. I usually talk to my chat. So if you actually have anything that you'd like to share or say, we'll definitely try reading those. So this is the co-hosts of ABC's Left Wing, The View program are in hot water again. Every week they put themselves in hot water because they just don't know how to actually keep themselves out of it. After some of them made observations about former President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. The comments came in relation to the discussion of the potential criminal charges against the 45th president. He's facing a possible indictment next week from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg for campaign finance violations and hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. After co-host Whoopi Goldberg played a clip of a Trump lawyer explaining to ABC News George Stephanopoulos why the payments should not be considered violations of campaign finance laws. The rest of the panel joined in to talk about it. At one point, Joy Bear asked, why is Melania still there with Trump? I'm wondering about that. So Joy Bear goes into, oh, I'm wondering why Melania would want to stay with him. Why do you think she wants to stay with him? You kidding me? You nasty riach. That's why. They're married. They've been married for a while. Why would she stay with him? Because she understands that he isn't doing anything fucking wrong. It's the leftist media that's going to push it along and say, oh, this is this and this is it. Let's bring him up on charges all we possibly can.
Yeah, it's no different.
You want to go outside? I'm going to do something inside. Okay. Give me a few minutes. I'll be done. Okay. You don't have to. Give me a few minutes. Welcome, Tadpole. So I'm sure she gets Nevermind co-host. Co-host Sarah Haynes responded. There have been allegations, she said. Another co-host before the panel began talking over each other. Haynes then went on to explain her remark. There could be monies in exchange, deals made, she said, appearing to suggest that Melania was staying in the marriage because it was financially beneficial for her to do so. That's a stupid reason. It's so dumb. I really hate The View. The View is stupid. So several people took to social media to rip the host on implications. How has this show not been ended? Every single one of these liberal hacks should be fired, said Patriots Alert Twitter account. They should really be fired. They shouldn't even be around. These old hags just sit there and push lies. Bunch of evil women wrote another, added several puking emojis. Shut this vile and sensitive joke of show. Still another user noted. I really don't understand. Every single week they put themselves in hot water for different reasons, and they're just going to sit there and continue to put themselves in hot water every week. Will we cover another bit of them next week? Yeah, probably, because they have continuously done this over and over again to themselves. Put themselves in the light to actually, be ridiculed for talking stupid shit. When because when you sit around with, 4 other people that are like-minded and you start spewing random crap over the top of each other, some of it's going to get really, really, funny on what they're actually saying, and they're not going to be, I don't know. I lost my thought. Several law enforcement agencies reportedly preparing for potential indictment of former President Trump, blah, blah, blah. The agencies preparing are the NYPD, New York State's court officers, the U.S. Secret Service, the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, and the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. So there you go. There's the list of all the places that are actually looking to actually put him and get him arrested and brought up on charges for whatever reason. So the agency's preparing. There you go. NYPD, New York State court officers, U.S. Secret Service, that Secret Service that he doesn't use, the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, and the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. That's great. It takes 5 different entities to get together to try to do something to this guy that they've failed to do several times over and over again. Hate viewers may be their only viewer. Play to the crowd. Probably, I guess. Another potential 2024 Republican presidential contender who called on Trump to drop out of the race if he is indicted in one or more of these charges stemming from the payments to Daniels. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson told The Guardian, yeah, he wants to eat. All right, sounds good. It doesn't mean that he's guilty of it. He should be charged, but it's just such a distraction that would be unnecessary for somebody who's seeking the highest office in the land. In 2018, adult film actress Daniels alleged that she had an affair with Trump in 2006, and this is why we're still dealing with this, but from all the way back in 2006, something that had nothing to do with him running for president whatsoever. But yeah, let's do that. Let's keep on, going back and bringing up old shit. I'm gonna actually stop. Being that Tadpole's awake and he's looking for me to actually get him some food as well as some other things. I'm gonna look at chat here real quick, see if there's anything good to actually answer any questions y'all got, and we're gonna roll out of here pretty soon here. Me personally, I can't stand legacy media talk shows like The View. Yeah, thank you, baby bat Adam. Yep, totally agree. That's why we like to pick on them. We like to pick on them like almost on a regular basis to bring them down to their knees on the bullshit, because these ladies that run this shit, they're ridiculous. Why are they not bringing up the fact that she lost and had to lay his legal fees? Why are they? Because they don't care. They just want to actually bring him up on charges so they can actually, remove him as contender. They're not looking at this. They're not looking at it as it's already been handled all the way back in 2006. They're like, oh, let's do it now. I got you. I just really don't get why it needs to be a thing. It really doesn't. For them to actually continue to go after him for something such as this is very disturbing. That they think that they can go up and bring up anything from your past. So it's like, oh well, okay. So say I decide to go run for president. I'm not going to, but say I do. Say I decide to go run for president and make it through nominations or make it 2 nominations, and all of a sudden they're like, oh wait a minute, let's go back, let's look at his criminal record from back when he was 20 years old and see if we can't bring him up on new charges on something that he's already been let off for, or whatever. Let's do that. It's never happened in the life of anybody to be brought up on charges a second time, regardless to what he did and who he paid off, or if he paid off. It doesn't matter. It really shouldn't matter. In my opinion, I think that it's ridiculous for them to do this, to try bringing him up any charges whatsoever. So because we like to pick on the president of the United States, we're going to go away with this because we like to pick on him. I just saw this online with no context. Kind of this klutzy cadaver fall. Did this klutzy cadaver fall again? You see that? You see how he's kind of stooping there or whatever in the rain?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I've seen so many memes on that.
There's so many memes that are out there about this guy and doing this kind of shit. Just like, this is hilarious. I heard he fell again. Yeah, I see, and that's the thing is if you don't really know if it was that he actually fell again, but you know they've memed the crap out of this particular photo since this. Others followed up by their own takes. What the fuck is happening here? Turning Point USA's Benny Johnson tweeted, adding, "I promise this is not AI." Joe Biden doing the debt dance to summon Congress to allow him to go even more into debt than the $11 trillion he was already recklessly added. Don't tell me. I literally can't tell what is real anymore. Noted another user, and that's how you get this. You go, Jenna Ellis, caption this. It's just hilarious that he looks the way he does. I really have no clue what the scene before that or after that looked like. If he actually did fall, if he was in the motions of actually falling, because it looks like he's in the air. This foot's totally in the air, obviously, right? The other foot, this you can see there's space between his heel and the ground. It's like only the ball of his foot is actually touching the ground. It really looks like he's ready to actually collapse to the ground. All right, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. I gotta feed this kid some breakfast. If y'all haven't already, please hit the like button. Share this out to your friends. Subscribe if you hadn't already. There's ways to join the Frog Army as well as other donations that can be had. Please do so. Help me out all you possibly can. I'm going to go away for now. You all have a wonderful day. Subscribe to Jimmy YouTube. He's in the description line down below.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
If y'all, AmericaShirtsFirst.com. I really don't know what's happened to him. I really don't. It seems as though he's disappeared for the last week or so. Let's see if we can't get a hold of him somehow and let's get him back out here. We need America Shirts. Without America Shirts, it's not the same. Thank you all so very much, and we'll see you later.
Peace. Peace.